9 to 5 is not a work routine flight crew are acquainted with. In fact, their working hours are not the only exciting perks of their jobs.
This was about a couple crew, husband and wife crew, and they were night stopping layover in a certain place in Europe, and the husband was called up from standby, excuse me, and he went on a flight, and the wife wasn't called up. What happened was the airlines didn't need the husband after that, so they told him to go back to the hotel. So he wanted to surprise the wife by not calling him from outside, and they slipped his key into the hotel room door, and when he opened, and that's it. There was another guy with a wife in the bathtub. Yeah, that one, I think many of us can't forget that. I think she probably has been doing that. But I suppose she can't resist it because the steward is handsome.
Did they remain together, the husband and wife?
No, they split up.
Well, this and many other sexy and saucy stories are revealed in the latest local bestseller called Fasten Your Seatbelts. The author Luke flew with a top international airline for 35 years and shows readers, well, the lesser-known side of the friendly skies. But how did he get started?
I didn't write this book. What I did was, when I started blogging after retiring from the airlines, so I think a few publishers wanted to publish the stories. I thought maybe it's only fair that even the public and the traveling public, the passengers and people in general ought to know what is going on, and the stories are true.
So what exactly does go on?
It's a little bit unusual, it's saucy, juicy, and not many people get to fly as crew. And when you are a crew, you go overseas, you got lots of time over there, and you probably be bored, so you get into all this type of activities, which is in the book.
What do you mean, all this type of activities? Please enlighten me.
Behind locked doors, hotel doors, under the bed sheet, in the hotels, in the restaurants overseas, like in London, in Los Angeles, people have affairs.
Luke, or Boh Tong, as he was affectionately nicknamed by his biological mother, said that the flight crew may lead glamorous lives, but their personal lives often suffered as a result of their erratic flying schedules. But he also did add that salacious stories were limited to about 10% of the flight crew, and most of them did carry out healthy, normal relationships and are still happily married. But it was the glamour perks like traveling around the world and being surrounded by beautiful colleagues that attracted Luke to the job.
I joined the airlines in the 60s, and the pay was fantastic as compared to what I did before. I was working in the prison, and they paid me $190. I worked in the hospital as a male nurse. The starting pay was not that good. So being an airline crew, the main attraction was the pay, and then the travel, and you get to meet a lot of people. Pretty young girls like you, Sarah. It sort of motivated me to go for a job and to continue until I can't take it anymore.
Luke said 70% of flight crew are female, and that skewed gender ratio works well because the majority of air travelers are male. And yes, the equation works in the male steward's favor as well, as they then have the pick of the litter. Flight crew may have a reputation for being promiscuous, but of course, not every love story ends in tears. Luke has been happily married for more than 10 years to an air stewardess. And his tip to a happy ending?
Well, don't fly together. Because this airline has got this policy of putting husband and wife crew together on flights. And I think you don't fly together. It's healthier. You miss one another because you don't give sort of a leeway to your husband or your wife to do things of their own. So you're together during the flight, working together, stop overseas together, and then you come back, your off days together, and I think it's pretty boring.
Well, Luke may be grounded and enjoying retirement right now, but this ex-cabin crew also helps wannabes train to get their dream jobs as flight attendants. He holds monthly talks that groom and prep students for the interviews, and his results, so far close to 100% success. For more details, head to his website www.ourcabincrew.com or check out his blog at www.bohtong.org.